Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Seattle Seahawks. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here we go. Waiting! Hey, watch the ball. Trey 15. 54 is much. Check. Watch 54. Tackles.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Flush to his right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. An aggressive play call to start this game. It backfired, but aggressive, no question about that.
Is that one of those statement calls? Trying to let you know that they're going to be aggressive right out of the gate. But that one hung up just a little bit too long. He made a nice play on the ball defensively and was able to pick it off.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 3rd down, Winston. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
And, Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is, but how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Gordon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Go. 120! Check tight.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of, into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Following the interception, Winston. He'll find Metcalf. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
First and 10 at the 24-yard line. Flag, what do that? You got to get the ball, D. Get the ball. Flip. 97.
Jameis now on first down. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Winston, the Eagles now with a first and 10 at their own 12-yard line. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue, just make sure you feed me the football? And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Brings up second and 2 at the 32-yard line.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2. A toss play. Gordon. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
Done. 46 down, man. 5-4. Let's go. Bravo. Watching me five. Blue there. Mike 5-5.
From the gun on third down, Wentz. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. The drive stays alive. A third down gain of 8. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. They run it here with Gordon. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Brings up second and 9 at the 50-yard line.
Here's second and 9, just a yard on that last run. First carry of the game here for Royce Freeman. And his first carry, he loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. it's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
He's 6'6", pull it high. Hey, orbit. 55, right there in the middle.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now a toss right side. It's Gordon. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it 2nd and 7. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. This is Gordon. And some room to work. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Melvin Gordon hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles have taken the lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. Mixon hit, and the ball is out. And the Eagles have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Here's Gordon. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Gordon. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. Kill.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd down. You're in a tight game in the loudest stadium in the NFL, and it's enough to rattle even the most seasoned of quarterbacks. And here, it looks like he's not quite on the same page as his receiver. This will wind up a turnover.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 39-yard line.
Ready.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Here's Winston. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Two minutes gone by, second quarter.
Green, triple T.
On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. And this is going to be incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Hey, check. 3 down. Tommy. Watch 84. 57 to Mike. 57.
They're indeed going. It's Winston. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Heck of a 4th and short conversion. They end up getting north of 20 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To the air again with Winston. He'll take a shot, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Derwin James with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first... We just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Now the handoff comes to Gordon. They find some open field here. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Seahawks 15. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. Give them maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 14-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll try the right side this time here with Gordon. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite at that level.
And that's caught inside the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
97's the mic. 97's the mic. Green, triple T.
On play action, Winston. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Fletcher Cox in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. The throw over the middle taken in. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles 16.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play. If we were watching this in the film room.
And, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, what's the plan of attack here? Very late 2nd quarter, and look where the ball is.
Yeah, bad spot for you. But the defense has all 3 timeouts. So what you're telling your team is ball security number 1. It's not all on the running backs if you decide to run the football. That offensive line has got to protect them and wedge out some space because you can't just kneel. They take 3 timeouts. They're going to get the ball back in good field position with a chance to put points on the board. You've got to try and get a first down and run out this first half.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Hey, Ford, Tokyo!
Now Wentz. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off at the 45. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Joe Mixon, as the first half is winding down, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
I don't think it's any state secret to know what they were saying before the start of this drive. Let's go and punch one in the end zone and go into the halftime feeling a heck of a lot better about ourselves. Let's go get this done.
Yeah, tie things up, and then you get a brand new ball game. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 20. Seven-yard line.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Time here for likely one play, and then these two teams will head to the locker room all even.
And you know the play caller's just feeling it right now. Let's go ahead and go for this one. A big shot down. No. Guarantee the head coach is like, don't get crazy. Take the knee. Let's get out of here. Tie game. We'll just start all over.
Second and 10 now from the 27.
Right 54. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. For Tokyo.
A final shot before half for Wentz. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 26-yard line.
Blue 80. 58, come on. I want that. Give me that ball. Let's go.
Once again, they run with Mixon. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop him?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the... Play back at the 44.
Your trip is huge.
A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 at the 44-yard line.
Ready. White 25. Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
Again, it's Mixon. Up to make the play defensively, Tre'Davious White.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Ringo. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. Hey, alert 3. Tommy. 97's the mic. 93. Triple team. 6 man.
Winston from the gun on third down. Looking deep for wide open, complete, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Gary Jennings, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead. The extra point now coming from Myers. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Working from the gun, Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Mike, 55. Right there in the middle, 55. Hey, kill him. Hey, force don't kill him. Check, 55 to Mike.
To throw is Wentz. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Another tote for Gordon. He's been busy this afternoon. It's a first down and more for Gordon. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Melvin Gordon with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Elliott on for the extra point. And he gets it to go, and we're all even, 17 apiece.
That ties the game at 17.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And it'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And these two teams have traded touchdowns so far with their first possessions here in the third quarter, so we're right back to where we started at intermission.
Yeah, how about that? Tied at the half, tied after the first two drives of the third quarter, one for each. That tells me that someone's defense has got to step up and make a big play and try and change the momentum of this game.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Coming after you. 97's the mic. 97's the mic. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. 97's the mic. 97's the mic. Watch the pass.
Now Winston. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Fletcher Cox in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22 and a half set in 2001.
Watch the run. Watch the run. That's sack, baby. That's a baby sack.
3rd and long for Winston. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams. Went out there and handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 21-yard line.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Quit talking about it and bring it.
5-9.
Check right. Watching you go.
Hey, Delta.
Check me out.
Wentz going to throw. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Ziggy Ansah in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
I smell fear in that offense.
Throwing now is Wentz. He's going to fire one deep over the middle, and that is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A first down throw for Winston. He's going to float this. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as they have taken the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. This is Gordon as they go to him again. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Now a play fake here on first down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Joe Mixon. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. 9 yards on the carry, but it's going to lead to a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. So that'll back them up 5. Now here's Michael Dixon. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Wentz now to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Trey Flowers picks it. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down.
You ain't doing nothing today. Kill.
They'll stay on the ground, mix him again. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try to run with Carson. Trying to ram his way in, but they're going to hold him back at the goal line. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. Mixon trying to punch it in. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches.
5 on the 50. 5, here we go.
Here's a run with Mixon. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
For the Seahawks field goal, a 19-yard attempt.
Myers' kick is good. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, push their backs clearly against the wall.
This will be taken in at the 1. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Forced out to his left. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Following the interception, Winston. That's going to be caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge.
And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 36. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
On 1st down, Mixon. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Tight, tight, watch left. Tight, tight, watch left. 3 down, 3 down.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
That's a gain of 8.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. Here it's 3rd and 3. This is Mixon on the draw. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. So the victory here for Seattle, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Seahawks, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7-4 now on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.